Welcome to Ovikon Home Tutor this week. I am your host, Ovikon. This week in the program, we are going to talk about the problems of homelessness all over the world. For us to be effective in doing that, we are going to use a poem written by a Nigerian. The title of the poem is Homeless, Not Hopeless. Once again, you are welcome to your #1 educative show, East of the Niger.
Hello there, my name is Jimmy. This is Ovikon Home Tutor, your #1 educative show, East of the Niger. Make sure you don't miss this program.
Ovikon Home Tutor, learning for everyone.
Homelessness, obviously, is one of the challenges of our modern society. In the past, actually, our forefathers may have faced in one way or the other problems of homelessness, but somehow in this our citified civilization, it is very much rampant. There are so many people that don't have a roof over their head, but there are equally others that have a roof over their head. Now, when we look at those that don't have the roof over their head, we normally refer them as homeless, and somehow we really see them as poverty-stricken human beings, that they don't have any hope for survival. But the question we are going to ask is that, assuming that you find yourself in that situation where you don't have a home, does it mean that you are going to become very much hopeless? Let's find out from the people.
Shelter is one of the basic needs of human. It's necessary we have a home where we have our shelter and all that. So if I find myself in such a situation, well, the first thing I have to do is to keep praying to God, and then for God to one day provide give my own shelter. And then maybe I will be sporting. I know we have friends, we have neighbors and all that. I may be sporting with them, then waiting for God to answer my prayer to provide my own shelter for me. My word of encouragement to them is they should keep praying, they should hope in God. One with God, we say, is a majority. So they should always pray, asking God one day provide their own shelter for them. They should not lose hope, because we believe in God, and whoever believes in God, the Bible tells us, God will never let the person down. So that is the one major thing. They should always hope in God, keep praying. One day God will surely provide for them.
I will not lose hope, because since I have Christ, I have all. And as far as I'm living in the universe, you know, the sky, the sky covers me. You know, when I look up, you know, the Bible says, to whom cometh my help cometh from the Lord. So since I know that my help cometh from the Lord, there's no need to lose hope, for tomorrow is greater and better than today. So those people that are losing hope and they don't have hope, to my own understanding, the advice I have for them is, what they need to do is to accept Christ as their personal Lord and Savior, because he that has Christ has everything. And when there is life, there is hope.
You're homeless. Look for a better tomorrow. Hope for a better tomorrow. Don't believe that your life ends there, because you don't know what God has in store for you. Just pray for good health. Pray for long life. Once there is life, you must meet with good things.
I will not lose hope, because I know that God can never let me down. And if I see myself in such situation, I have to at least have hope in the Lord that one day I will make it. Or if I see anybody who also found herself in such a situation, then I will encourage the person to work hard. Whatever thing the person is doing that is good, the person should keep on. The person should strive to agree.
So my best advice to those people who find themselves in such predicament, I'm talking about being homeless, it's not giving up. It's not giving up hope. Don't give up. Believe in God. Believe utmostly in what? In God. Believe that God can do anything for you. God will do everything for you.
Remember I told you the poem is homeless, not hopeless. But this poem is written by somebody, like I've already told you. He is a Nigerian. I say is because he is a contemporary poet. He is a poet that is still living up to this day. For those of you that have offered the examinations like WAEC, NECO and GCE exams, you must have come across this poem. Let's just welcome the poet of the day. His name is Sla Owonibi. Let's see the life of Sla Owonibi.
Who is Sla Owonibi?
Sla Owonibi is a Nigerian poet and playwright educated in the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, who is also an active member of Association of Nigerian Authors, ANNA. He won the prestigious Editor's Choice Award in 1995, an international open poetry contest organized by National Library of Poetry in Maryland, USA. Sla Owonibi is presently doing his PhD program in the University of Ibadan with special interest in medicine and literature.
Welcome back. A poet is an artist. He does not just write because he wants to write. He writes because somehow he has seen things around him. This poet that we are really talking about, Sla Owonibi, is a Nigerian. And being a Nigerian, he has seen things around him that made him to really decide to write a poem about homelessness. Now, as tradition demands in this program, we are going to see what really inspires the poet to write a poem. Homeless, not hopeless.
Background of the poem.
Do you know that millions of people all over the world lack the three basic necessities of life? Number 1, food. Number 2, clothing. And number 3, shelter. How do they survive? Where lies their hope? How bright is their future? These and numerous other questions trouble the mind of the Nigerian poet Sla Owonibi as he composes the poem Homeless, Not Hopeless. Set against the background of the overcrowded Nigerian cities, Sla Owonibi uses the poem to paint the horrible pictures of poverty, disease, and hunger common in Nigeria and other third world countries.
Hello, Nigerian students. This is 21st century, the age of technological superhighways with limitless information flying around. With those devices, you can become a celebrated judge in your chosen field. But you must believe in yourself that you and you alone can do it right. Therefore, avoid examination malpractices, for they destroy the future of our nation.
Be a good ambassador. Join campaign against examination malpractice. This message is brought to you by Ovikon Multimedia Studio.
Welcome back. Now we have seen the poet that has written this poem. Remember one thing about poetry, it is not only for those that offer literature. It is not only for those that are writing exam. It is not only for those that teach or prepare students for exam. It is for everybody, because it has a way of unlocking certain things in your mind. It will help you to understand so many things that you find very difficult. So even if you are writing exams or you're not writing exam, poetry is there for you. Don't run away from it. This is not a campaign. It is the truth that I should tell you. Now, having known the poet, we have to now go ahead to read the poem. This is the part I believe that so many people will be scared of. But let's read the poem from the first stanza to the last stanza.
We are the natives of the street, held up under bridges. We are necessary. We are parts of your existence, major fragments of the globe. As the day chameleons tonight, you slump in the warmth of your beds and the heat of the loved ones. We also embrace the cozy cardboard bed laid on stinks as the night injects us with a cool breeze and endurance. We sleep and dream and have conferences with the indigenes of the elusive world. When each day, in bundle, we pack our belongings and move on with our days, standing, kneeling, and bending to beg for alms just for the day. Necessary parts of your society, translators of your dreams, carriers of your burdens, angels, we open gates of your blessings. We are the lack that take your lack. We are homeless, not hopeless. This makes us right at hereafter, when death opens the gate to the second phase.
Hello there, my name is Jimmy. This is Ovikon Home Tutor, your #1 educative show east of the Niger. Make sure you don't miss this program.
Ovikon Home Tutor. Learning for everyone.
Sometimes after reading a poem, some of us get really confused of what the writer is trying to tell us. But this is one of the reasons that made people to run away from poetry, because they can't really stand the stress of trying to understand what they cannot really understand. And that is why in this program, every poem we read, we try to really analyze it step by step. Now, and having done the background information of the poetry itself, it is very, very necessary that we should now try to understand what exactly the poet is trying to tell us. In this case, we call it the subject matter of the poem, which is the exact thing the poet is trying to tell us. Let's go through it.
Subject matter of the poem. The poem tells the pitiable story of the poor people of the world, especially the beggars who have no place to sleep and nobody to care for them. Despite being extremely poor, these beggars have not lost the hope of life. They still enjoy their life and their own wealth mainly through imagination. The narrator in the poem is proud to assert his identity and that of his fellow beggars all over the world, that they are to be seen as a very important part of the human society. Diseased, neglected, and with no roof over their heads, the narrator and his fellow poor people still face the world with courage, endurance, and hope. Now it's time to look at the figures of speech in the poem. We are the lack that take your lack, line 26-27. We are homeless, not hopeless, line 28. Or are paradox. As night injects us with cool breeze in line 11, when day open the gates to the second phase, line 30 to line 31, or are personification. And have conferences with the indigenes of the elusive world, line 26 and 27, refers to hyperbole. As the day chameleons tonight, line 6, is equally referring to metaphor.
Hello there, my name is Jimmy. This is Ovikon Home Tutor, your #1 educative show east of the Niger. Make sure you don't miss this program.
Ovikon Home Tutor, learning for everyone.
It is time to look at the theme of the poem, which says optimism. Sla Owonibi has used the poem to inspire hope, not only for the wretched citizens, but entire humanity, that no condition is permanent. It teaches us to possess the positive attitudes needed to survive hardships and other temptations of life, which we sometimes are exposed to. The narrator in the poem is optimistic that he and his fellows have brighter future with the world, and that is why he faces his sufferings with courage.
Welcome to that section of the program where I know that every one of you is waiting for. This is the time we give away our own token in our own little way. Now, let me tell you something. I've been doing this presentation for a very long time that I am becoming bored. So, in order to make certain things, in order to change things, I decided to really recruit a new person and to really try out the person. He is going to be the one that will present quiz time this week. Now, I want you to just pay attention to him because he is a very shy guy.
Hello viewers, my name is Jimmy. This time around, I'm going to really present this part of the program because I am the one that should be doing it from now upward. This week, we are going to really concentrate on the questions based on the poem we've just read. The title of the poem is Homeless, Not Hopeless. Now, what you are going to do for me is to pay a very close attention to the questions and make sure you answer according to the instructions given. Good luck.
Text your answers to 07031999985 or to the email oviconimagestudio@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and know more about us on YouTube. Woo! It is shout out time.
I'm saying shout out to my mother, Mrs. Ibewe Victoria. Make sure you don't miss this.
I am sending my shout out to my wonderful parents, Mr. and Mrs. John Anka, and the staff and management of St. Raphael Model Secondary School and Okoko. I am also sending my shout out to my students of the same school. I'm wishing everybody God's blessing and protection.
I say my shout out to all my friends, all the Nigerian students. Make sure you don't miss this program.
My shout out goes to my parents and myself. If you are watching Ovikon HomeTutor.com, don't touch that.
Daalụ ndị ewelu ndị enyi m, ana m ekele ndị ọyị m niile nọ na nwafọ Orizu, ọkachasị ndị na-agụ Igbo. Asị m ka si Igbo dịbakwanụ, ya ka na-ekele unu ndị ewelu.
I'm saying my shout out to all my friends, all the Nigerian students. I'm telling you people to watch Ovikon HomeTutor.
I'm saying my shout out to all Nigerian students. Make sure you are watching Ovikon HomeTutor. Thanks.
How do you see Jimmy? Do you see Jimmy as somebody that we can keep on the show, or do we see him as somebody that is insignificant that we need to really jettison? Let me just tell you, Jimmy is still under trial. If you really like him on the show, you can just say, I like Jimmy, through the link on the screen. Just tell us so that we know whether to keep Jimmy or to push him out. Please vote wisely, because Jimmy is going to be very sad if you vote him out. But just make your own decision, because it is still your own decision. I remain your host, Obun Namba. Make sure that you don't miss this program every week. Bye for now.